next comedian. Keep it going for him too. Tomasz Kepa, please come to the stage.
Hi guys. Kiro didn't mention, but I'm from Poland.
Yeah. He's from Poland.
Yeah. Nobody's perfect, huh? And I do get mistaken for either Russians or Germans. Or German. Because maybe because of the way how I order beer. 5 beers, please. But that's not what I wanted to talk to you about tonight. A few weeks ago, I talked to my male friends about the relationship. Can you hear me?
No, it's not working.
What about now? Yeah. Good. A few weeks ago, I talked to my male friends about their relationships with their girlfriends and wives. And all of them were complaining. Sharing their experiences about living with a woman and how different it is from hanging out with their male buddies. So, in a spirit of sharing, I've prepared a few tips and advice and pieces of advice for you women so that you know how to handle us men. Are you ready?
No.
Great, so rule number 1. Men are not mind readers. Which means that whenever you want something, tell us. Don't keep us guessing because we'll never get it. We are dumb creatures. And let me be clear on this one. Subtle hints don't work. Obvious hints don't work. Strong hints don't work. So just tell us. Tell us what you want. And this advice especially goes to you single women who go to bars to find yourself a husband or just to get laid. You all think that when you fix your eyes on this guy for a nanosecond too long, or you play with your hair or your jewelry, it's an obvious. It is a signal that the guy will read. Wrong. He won't get it. Men don't read signals. Period. What you should do instead is like turn your ass on the chair, fix your eyes on that guy, and spread your legs as wide as they go, just to show him his true north. To your heart, of course. To your heart. Rule number 2. Learn how to operate the toilet seat. You're grown girls already. When it's up, put it down. You don't hear us complaining all the time that you leave it down, huh? Yeah, rule number 3. What is rule number 3? I forgot my material. Oh yeah. I'm sorry for that. Crying is blackmail. And you women have mastered this trick extremely well. Shame on you. And I'm not talking about the kind of crying when you wake up in the middle of the night screaming, tears running down your cheek, all sweaty and shit, and your girlfriend asks you, Tomek, what's wrong? And you tell her, baby, I just had the worst nightmare ever. I dreamt that I gave you an engagement ring for your birthday. No, that's not the kind of crying I'm talking about. I'm talking about the kind of crying, a ladylike, girly kind of crying. A few weeks ago, I got back home and I found my girlfriend crying in the living room. And I asked her, baby, what's wrong? And she was like, don't talk to me. Babe, you can tell me what's wrong. Don't touch me. Come on, it's me. Tell me what's wrong. You forgot about my birthday. And I was like, really? That's what you're crying for or about? And I was pissed. And I think all men deep down feel that we should feel sorry for that, for forgetting about her birthday. But we don't, because it's not a serious reason to cry. When your pet puppy dies, that's a serious reason to cry. When you have diarrhea for 2 days, that's a reason to cry. When your ex-girlfriend calls you up and tells you she gave you crabs, that's a serious reason to cry. And so I got mad at her. I got pissed, and I went too far. And I told her one thing that I shouldn't have said. I said, "Do you want a serious reason to cry? I'll give you a serious reason to cry. Do you remember when I told you that goldfish, Dalibor died out of old age? Yes? Well, I lied. I got drunk home and I pissed in a fish tank and I poisoned a little fucker. Now that's a reason to cry. Cry over that. Well, she did. She did, unfortunately. Rule number 4. When we ask you, what's wrong, honey? And you tell us, nothing. We act like nothing's wrong. That's it, we act. Because we know damn well that you're lying, woman. But it's just not worth the hustle trying to get to the bottom of problem with you. So come to us whenever you have a problem and you want help fixing it. Because that's what we do. God put us on this earth to fix your problems. Period. If you want sympathy or emotional support, that's what your girlfriends are for. Rule number 5. If you ask us a question that you don't want an answer to, expect an answer that you will not like. For example, when you tell us, honey, does my ass look fat in those jeans? It probably does. So don't ask us. And by the way, yes and no are like perfectly good answers for 99% of your questions. Rule number 6. Everything we said 6 months ago is not true anymore. And you can't use it when we have a fight. So in fact, all our comments older than 1 day are no longer true or valid. But you women are special. You remember every single thing. And you use it against us. Just like my ex-girlfriend, she would always remember how much money I borrowed from her, on which day and at which hour. And on top of that, she would always remember that I never gave it back. Rule number 7. If something that we say can be interpreted 2 ways, and one of the ways made you feel sad or angry, we meant the other one. So for example, guys, when you go out shopping with your girlfriends and they start to fish for compliments and they ask you, and they say, oh, I'm so fat, I need to lose some weight. And they look at you to negate it. And you go, yeah, baby. But then it reaches your brain, what you just said, and you're like, shit, did I just say that out loud? And you look at her, and you go like, fuck, yeah, I did say it out loud. Yeah. And so suddenly your girlfriend goes like, so now I'm too skinny for you? Now you don't like that skinny ass anymore? Guess who'll be sleeping on the couch tonight, fucker? And you know, and we know this is a lost cause, so we go like, I'm sorry, let me buy you that new dress for you. Yeah. Rule number 8. You can either ask us to do something or tell us how you want it done. Not both. If you know already how it should be done best, you should fucking do it yourself. And yeah, my girlfriend, she would always complain like, oh, like, you cut the bread, when you cut, what? Again. Jesus. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. When you ask us to do something or to make you a sandwich, we're glad to do it. We're happy to do it. But don't go all batshit crazy when we cut the bread too thick. My dad used to cut the bread so thick that one slice looked like a motherfucking brick. And me and my brother, we couldn't eat it. Our jaw hurt for like a week afterwards. Yeah, so, and my girlfriend, she would always complain, no, my daddy used to cut the tomatoes really thin. My daddy didn't use so much butter. My daddy this, my daddy that. And then one day I snapped and I told her, well, if your dad is so fucking great 3-star Michelin chef, why don't you go and date him? Yeah, she broke up with me a week later. Rule number 9. Rule number 9, guys. At least somebody's laughing. Thank you. Just like we agreed before the show. Superb. Yeah, where was I? Rule number 9. Thank you. Rule number 9. Whenever possible, please say what you have to say during TV commercials. And somehow you girls always want to talk about our relationship when we chill on the couch and watch TV. Don't you know the only reason why we watch football on TV is so that we don't have to talk about our relationship? We don't fucking care about football. Rule number 10. Marco Polo did not ask for directions, and neither do we. There is nothing more humiliating in the world than for a man than asking another dude for directions. And personally, I suck at giving and getting directions. I got lost in Prague with GPS in my hand so many times that I can't count. But I've never asked another dude for directions. Because I'm a man. Rule number 11. All men see in all in 6 colors. If some of us can distinguish more than 6 colors, they're probably gay. So, girls, for example, peach is a fruit, not a color. Salmon is a fish, not a color. We have absolutely no idea what color carmine is, and it should stay this way. But I've got a piece of advice for you single women out there. When you go on a date with a guy, ask him how many colors he knows. And if he goes like, blue, yellow, green, blue, green, did I mention yellow? That's your man. That's your colorblind Prince Charming. You should marry this guy. Because I promise, 20 years later, you will not find him fucking another dude in your living room. Because he's as straight as they go. Rule number 12. When we have to go somewhere and we've been waiting for you for an hour already, everything that you wear is fine. Really. Anything goes. And we know that when you tell us, oh honey, it's gonna take me 5 more minutes, we don't have to hurry you up every 30 minutes. But we do it anyway, just to fuck around with you. Yeah. One last rule. Rule number 13. Don't ask us what we're thinking about, unless you're mentally prepared to discuss such topics as pornography, motorsports, or our Saturday night drinking adventures with our buddies.
Yeah. Sorry.
And I think that there are a few questions that you women always wanted to ask us men, but never had the courage to do so. So allow me to address those few most common questions that you direct at us men. Are you ready?
Yes.
Cool. The guys sing. We're ready. So, yes, you have too many clothes. Yes, you have too many shoes. Yes, we do get sexually aroused even by watching you do the dishes. No, we wouldn't mind having a threesome with you and your sister. Okay. And no, we're not losing hair, we're just hair challenged. And one last yes. Something that I noticed yesterday, I was on the tram and I saw this girl. Yes, it does look fucking horrible when you entirely pluck out your eyebrows and paint the fake ones instead. What's wrong with you? I mean, we know that it takes a lot of energy to have under control that bush that you have above your eyes. But come on, I mean, how lazy do you have to be to just shave your eyebrows and paint the fake ones? Yeah. And I saw a few of you guys, you were like, yeah, that guy knows what he's talking about. He must have been hiding under our bed or in the closet for the last 6 months. I swear to God, guys, it wasn't me. You should ask your girlfriends who that was. And your girls were like, that guy thinks he's funny, but he ain't that funny. My daddy's funnier than he is. So, girls, in case you do decide to punish your guys for having too much fun tonight and send them over to the living room to sleep on the couch, remember one thing. We don't really mind sleeping on the couch. It's like camping to us. Thank you guys. Thank you.
was everybody? I have a feeling that I need a scroll disclaimer like Comedy Prague does not agree with the views of every comedian said here. A huge disclaimer, just that kind of like washing our hands out of it.